Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is Tharmila Rajasingam. I'm a real estate marketer, real estate agent, and a global team leader at eXp Realty brokerage. And thank you so much for coming to my channel. I love to bring some of my agents into the forefront here, some of the conversations that we're having, some of the strategies that we work on. I love to take a moment to shine a little bit of light on some of the successes that our agents are having, but most importantly, so that you can use some of these strategies and put it into actions for your own business. And sometimes, we take a lot of time talking about real estate marketing, but I want to take a moment to talk about this other level of pillar that we take advantage of here at our brokerage, which is growing your team. And these strategies that we're going to talk about here can be applicable to if you're a broker of record, a broker, a team leader, a brokerage owner looking to scale, looking to grow, bring on people and recruit agents to your team, or if you're looking to just attract agents and grow your revenue share group at eXp or at any other brokerage. If you're really looking to just grow your team, it doesn't matter where you are, what market. It doesn't have to be North America. It could be in anywhere in the world. It's really important. Some of these principles that I want to bring to the forefront, and no other than obviously I could think of as one of my business partners, Jacob Shireman. He's based in Houston, Texas, and he has some great strategies to building a team. And he's on fire this year, and he's almost at 30 agents in his group worldwide, which is awesome. And he's doing this on autopilot and without spending a lot of time, but still having high level of impact. And so I want to take a moment to give the mic to him so he can take a moment to explain and give an introduction about who he is, why he's got into the space. And then Jacob, thank you first of all for being here. And then I want to dive into some really strategic questions that I want to take a moment to ask you about how you got into the space and what are some strategies that you're using to grow your team and growing your revenue share group. And it's really important because no one's talking about this. And I'm being very clear when I say this: team building, also building your revenue share organization. So if you're at eXp and you're struggling to do this, and very small percentage, we know this, very small percentage of the 90,000 agents at eXp actually recruit and actually build their downline and grow their revenue share organization. So it is possible. You can do it, and we're going to show you how. So Jacob, please tell us who you are, what you're doing in the space, how you got into real estate, and why are you building a team? How did you get into that space of wanting to attract agents?
Yeah. So my name is Jacob. I'm here in Houston, Texas. And my background before becoming a real estate agent was marketing. This is how you and I connected when we met. Is I've had a marketing company for over 13 years. And this is just what I've known. This is what I've done since I got out of college. I worked for big companies, even for Air Force Base, and developing portals and maintaining them. And it's just the space that I got into and love. My forte is usually like web design, SEO. We geek out about that. But I decided to get into real estate because my spouse, he decided that it wasn't fair that I could just take my laptop on the go and work with my clients remote, especially during COVID. And he said, it's not fair. I have to take off time to, for my work if I want to go somewhere and have to request. And I said, why don't you work for yourself? He said, well, I don't know what I would do. And he loves the real estate space because he was already doing property management, but doing it for a company. And I said, why don't you get your real estate license? And so we found a 2-for-1. So I decided to get it with him. And I thought, I'll be a great transition while he tries to go full time. If he can't go do a showing, I can go do it and I can help him out. And I remember one night we were laying there and I was trying okay, what brokerage are we going to join? We're looking at Keller Williams, looking at all these other places. And then I remembered I knew somebody at eXp and I thought, let me check that out. And the moment I saw the brokerage model, and our goal was that, being a marketing company, we wanted to have a business. I don't want to be self-employed. I don't want to where if I'm not working because I'm the business, I don't make any money. So naturally that progressive in real estate is to become a broker owner. And so we were looking into that, and it was 5 years. You had to have your license, which I think it's 4 now. You had to have your license for 4 to 5 years. You had to do all of these hours. By then, I think it was like 900 with continuing education and your courses and all that, 900 hours. And I was like, man, that's a long time to be able to scale my business. And so when we found eXp, we could do that day one because you can have rev share. You just got to introduce agents. And on top of that, you're not having all of this overhead. You're not having all of this responsibility and training and chasing down for signatures and things like that. eXp already has that model. We just kind of put ourselves into it. No franchise fees, no costs, literally just your application fee and $85 a month, depending where you're at. So that's why we got into it. When I found it, I started first, I got into it, and then started Agent Attraction because I found that it was something that I loved to do. And I love to help people, and I was good at marketing. And so it's just a natural kind of element to do Agent Attraction.
No, beautiful. I love that. And I love that you explained your full story, because it's really important that this is transferable. Like what you've done before coming to real estate, it doesn't matter what you've done. You could have been a manager in a cooking, in a kitchen. You could have been a manager in a retail. Those are amazing skills that are so transferable when it comes to this business. Now you're an expert at something that somebody hasn't done before. And how could you take that? And this is where I want to kind of dive straight directly into some of the strategies that we're using to attract agents really on autopilot. And first of all, the reason why I want to ask this question to kind of kick things off is what is your goal when it comes to team building? And what are you going after? What is your number? And the reason why I want to bring this to kind of the forefront is because people think, they look at you, they look at your content and the high quality of content that we put out, and how quickly we're growing, and think, oh, that isn't achievable for me. I don't have that skill set, and they quickly dismiss it. But we can work with you, and we're your team partner. We're here to build your team with you. And that's the beautiful part. And so I wanted you to touch on that, to see, your goal can be this big and it's attainable. It doesn't matter if you have 5 agents. It doesn't matter if you have 200 agents or 5,000 agents. These same strategies are applicable.
Yeah. So what's funny is you asked about a number goal. And so we kind of this year set a really big number. I was kind of nervous about it, but our goal is that our entire rev share organization, not just personal, that we attracted, we want to be at 500 by the end of the year. And when I first sat down to make that goal, I was like, man, I'm a little crazy. That's not really, maybe that's just too much to do. But after looking at everything that we have accomplished, especially how we've kind of been systemizing everything, like you talked about, on autopilot, and really making quantum leaps in our business, not just doing a little bit more, but being very strategic in what we do. And if you've seen any of Tharmila and I stuff, everything we do is very strategic. Is that number is very attainable. Even 3 years in, we're about to cross 30. And the amount of time that it took us to do that, once we really concentrated, because when we first got in, we were focused on deals, and then we were dabbling in Agent Attraction, and then our marketing took off. And then we took the whole second year to really build out all of these things that we have and wanted to use. And now focusing on Agent Attraction, literally from July to now, we've taken our YouTube channel, which is what we've used to just majority track. And there's other ways you can do it, but we did it with that. And in a little amount of time, we were able to go from 200-300 subscribers all the way to 1,300 right now, and onboard over 25 agents. We're sitting a little over 30 right now, and it's an amazing thing. So our goal is 500, and our goal too is not just numbers, is to make a big impact on agents' lives. There are so many agents. The moment I joined eXp and they found out I knew a little bit of marketing, hey, can I pick your brain? Hey, can I pick your brain? Hey, can I pick your brain? It's because agents are struggling. That percentage, 87% of agents fail in their first 5 years, is because they don't have the help they need. They're not plugging into tools like eXp. That's the tool that's really putting us financially free, allowing us to get rev share every month. So you got to plug into that area. But that is our goal, is to really make an impact, create a duplicatable system that any agent can plug into. Doesn't matter your background. You can take the resources Tharmila, myself, Mike have all developed. eXp alone, you can build an amazing rev share. I've seen agents 20 years old literally recruit 200 agents just on the eXp model, because no other brokerage is doing this. So there's plenty to do, but that is our goal, 500 agents by the end of 2024. And that is agents we can handle and still give that one-on-one feeling, that group culture too. So that's our goal for this year.
Yeah, and I love that. And remember, just like Glenn Sanford, the founder of our company, said, in order for him to become a billionaire, he has to make a lot of people millionaires in the process.
Exactly.
We're really in that trajectory of, making that impact. But I want to take a lot of people with us. I was able to leave my
Exactly.
job, and you don't have to think about making six-figure income a month right away. And people very much are doing that at our brokerage. But even paying off your mortgage bills, paying off, and especially looking at my last year of how much my rev share has grown in terms of income into my account from year to year. I'm astonished about the amount of money that I would have made at my full-time job versus what I'm
Right.
getting, right, without having to really make an impact directly. The people that you're actually helping and the way that they're making deals, and your agents are like, and it's not your numbers, right? Anytime those numbers that you're seeing, that means your agents are taking very much that 80% of their income into their pocket, and they're
Right.
closing deals. I mean, they have a fruitful life and they're growing their business. And to me, that's huge impact. And so I love that you touched on that. And I love that you touched on the fact that you can grow the team. It's about being strategic, even without having to have a lot of, resources. But it's also like, if you look at the flip side, which is why you don't have to have anything, but if you partner with the right people, the right upline. The
Exactly.
upline is very important, but your sponsor is very important. And I want you to touch on that a little bit when you talk about some of the success and strategies that you're using, because I won't kid you, because you talked about people always DMing us. Last night, I had an agent in my market message me. She's part of one of the top teams here at our brokerage, one of the most productive teams, when I say by income volume. And she messaged me and told me that she has zero help, and she's struggling. And to hear that, I do put it two ways, right? And then my question back to her is, have you done the work to reach out to them?
Right.
What have you done to take advantage of this? And it could go both ways. And that's why I never look at a DM like that and think, oh my goodness, what's happening? I've heard nothing but good things about this group. So, and for me is to go back and say, hey, I don't think I teach inside eXp University. Have you looked at our training? Just even if you're not your group, look at the brokerage training.
Right.
And so this is why it's really important, is your upline and your sponsor is important, but also our brokerage. We want to talk a little bit about that as well. So first of all, Jacob, how did you get started when it comes to building a rev share? What are some elements you think are critical when it comes to building your team? Like, what are the right tools you use? Let's talk about some strategies.
Yeah. So the first strategy, which I think is very important, was alignment.
Mm.
I knew what I was strong at. I knew what I was good at. I had the marketing background. And then I found somebody like you who spoke the same language, but had a very different skill set in marketing. So for me, I don't want to reinvent the wheel, because it's just time wasted. We need to collapse time frames. And then looking at, being in alignment with a group like the Wolfpack with Mike. So it's very strategic in my alignment. So that's the first strategy that you need to do, is who are you aligning with that's going to actually just allow you to get started one day. If you're going to have to take off time to get started, kind of like I did, which I didn't have to, you don't want to do that. You want to hit the ground running. And even if you don't have anything, maybe you did join with somebody that just doesn't have a value stack, it's okay. eXp has a tremendous value stack that you can go market. You just need to learn it better yourself. So I found the people to align with, and then I looked at it and said, okay, no brokerage is perfect, no team is perfect. What can I bring my experience to make this better? What are they missing? So for me, it was a lot of website and SEO and Google business and things like that a lot of people weren't talking about. I knew Tharmila and Mike had, social media down. They had very strategic marketing down, but I could bring that in and kind of create this full circle of marketing, because it wasn't about me. When I chose to align with them, I asked myself, because I knew I wanted to do rev share. We knew we wanted to build this like a business. Is I asked myself, what would my team benefit in the future? Like, not most of this stuff I already know, right? Because this is my background. But my team, what will they need? What kind of systems can they just plug into and have success? Are these strategies working that these people have? And so that's what I did. And so I think that's the most important thing you can do, is alignment is everything. And you might not align with us, and that's okay. But you need to find somebody to align with, because it's all about that future agent if you truly want to build impact and build a rev share that's very duplicatable. So once I figured that out, I figured out what I could offer people. And honestly, as a new agent, you might not know anything. I tell my agents all the time, they don't have to, recruit anybody or do the calls. They can put them in front of me. I know I can put them in front of you or Mike. So I use those systems around me and my upline, because that's the best part, is that upline, you can utilize them to help you, because it's about helping everybody get what they want, because we're all rewarded for it. So you're not really alone in the system. And so once I figured all of that out, I figured out how am I going to start attracting agents? And for everybody, this is different. There are I have new agents, literally an agent in New Jersey, first month in, already bringing in another new agent. And he did it by accident, because the guy asked him, oh, can you tell me more about eXp? So he said, I'm gonna tell you what I know. You can talk to my sponsor. He can explain it. But the guy just knew that he joined a better brokerage than he had joined. So he wanted to learn more about that. And that guy had nothing to offer but himself and the value stack that we have. So you don't have to overcomplicate the thing. So figure out a way that you're going to attract agents. I wanted to do it on autopilot because we were busy. So this year I really honed in on my videos, and you don't have to know marketing like us. It's okay. You can explain the eXp model. You can explain the benefits that you offer, your experience, especially if you're a new agent, you have experience on getting licensed. You can target people that are looking to get their license, and you can go after them and guide them through that process. Go to local places and talk to people that are doing deals, or listen to people when they're frustrated about their brokerage. That's like a win to walk in and go, hey, I love my brokerage. This is what we get. Do you get this? And you'll hear us strategically in videos say, well, at our brokerage, we get kvCORE as a part of our brokerage fee. A lot of people have to pay for that. So they're like, wait, you get it for free? So it's about figuring out how to market yourself. What does your schedule look like? How can you incorporate this into your current production and really make it work? And then just stick to that system. Tharmila and she always got on me all the time that I need to do more video, because it worked for me and I didn't like doing video. But the moment I committed to 3 videos a week since July of 2023, not even by the end of October, I was already pushing 30 agents bringing on. And on top of that, grew over 1,000 subscribers. So you just got to pick what works for you. That's pretty much what's working for us.
Yeah. And I remember you and I when we started out, we used to overthink, because we're so, being creative came so easily for us. We used to think 1,000 ideas a minute, and I still do. And I need to sometimes take a moment of silence, that energy, and redirect it elsewhere. But funny enough, you and I will look at other people at our brokerage who have 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, like massive, in very small amount of time, has a massive revenue share organization. You and I be like, how they can't even speak English properly.
Or no value stack.
No value stack. Communication skills are off. They're not top producers. And you're like, wait, what is going on here? Like, how are they? And it's because of the fact that they plugged in to the brokerage model. They understood the brokerage model. And remember, you're not alone. I love that you touched on that, Jacob, is that you're not alone. You have all of us, and that you don't have to speak English perfectly. You don't have to, it doesn't matter what walks of life you come from. You don't have to be a top producer. It's really all in here, and understanding what's in front of you. And one of our an amazing business partner in our upline once said, is that we all have this same opportunity. What are you going to do with it? And that's the same concept that we all kind of carry on right now. And Jacob and I know this. And this year alone, we used to talk to each other every day, multiple times a day, and figuring out different strategies. Will this work? Will this work? Have you tried this? And we used to run in circle until we started to automate things, started to hone in on what worked for us, what we like doing, and silence that other energy of overthinking, get into our own best self getting the best of us. And so in that kind of alignment, like, how do you plan on keeping this momentum going? A lot of people, they can start doing production. They're the best performers this year, and next year different market hits, they're completely different. Like, what are some simple strategies you're using to keep this momentum going with growing your team?
One is just keeping it simple. We had all these other strategies, like you said, and we had to just eliminate those. And one thing that helped with you and I, we just kind of scaled back how much we were talking, because we get so excited because we have so many ideas, because you and I together are just a creative powerhouse. but it didn't necessarily work in the moment we needed it to. It's great maybe for a future, but just keep it simple and then just be consistent on what you decide. We tell our agents all the time, pick a lead generation strategy and stick to it. But yet we weren't kind of doing that. So kind of coming in and realizing, and this shows you too, like even people that you might think have it better than you or more talent than you, doesn't always mean it's going to work. In a lot of times it can be a hindrance. And we tend to look at ourselves and kind of go, what's working, what's not working, to better ourselves and admit to ourselves what's not working. So we came in and said, this is what's working for me, video, and I use my funnel that I have, and that's what I'm doing. And that's the way I want to keep it going because it works. And plus I can still focus on some of those other things that I have, like family, some other personal goals that I have where business doesn't just take over. And again, it's on autopilot. And you'll figure this out once you guys get your first rev share check. When you get a rev share check and it pays your cell phone bill or pays your car insurance, you're like, whoa, this is great. My agent made a deal and I didn't even have to help do the deal. You know, I didn't have to sign a paper. So for us, we're going to keep it simple. We're sticking to video and making sure we have a good follow-up system. Follow-up is key. Even when people tell you they're not interested or they're not now, just following up and just showing them what we're doing, all the amazing things usually brings them on. It just wasn't the right season for them. And so follow up, having a good strategy to capture leads, because that's where most people mess up. And then also just creating this duplicatable system that my agents can do as well. Because my goal is I want everybody to win. I want everybody to succeed. I want to pull people up with me because I don't want to get to the top because I know I'll be there and be there by myself. And all these people I just missed the boat on, they needed help with. So in our team, I tell everybody, you know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So I want everybody to plug in, to let me know what they need help with. And that's the kind of support we're giving. And I know once we implement all of that, we're focused on our agents that, guess what? They're going to do well. Everything's going to grow and multiply, especially with this amazing system eXp has.
Absolutely. And I think I love that you talked about being simple, and, you know, keeping it simple is very much in line with, you know, partnering with the right people and leveraging what has already been done, not reinventing the wheel. And I love that you touched on that because that is very key to what we're focused on right now, what we've learned in these last couple of years for what didn't work and what grown. And now when we started to focus and put our energy towards that, we can start to see it growing. So it's wonderful that way. And speaking about that, Jacob, you know, one of the most amazing part about that brokerage is, again, not doing it alone, speaking about keeping it simple. Then that leads to what can people do to partner with you, work with you, take advantage of some of the stuff that you've done and you've learned, and you know what that you can pass on to others, and how can you help grow other people? Because like you said, getting that first check, having you to pay those simple bills is great, but to me, one of my favorite things is getting that message from your agent telling them, hey, thank you so much, like you've been a huge inspiration to me and you've changed so much of what I do in my life, and I love that, and thank you for it, and I'm closing all these deals because of you. Thank you for all these strategies. And remember, we're here to help you grow your team, but we're also here to grow your production, your sales. We are masters of real estate marketing, and that's where our value comes from. And so I want to give the mic back to you, Jacob. If you can kind of break down to people, how are you going to help them succeed, not just this year, but, you know, long term as well? What is your value? And then if you can touch on how people can find you and connect with you.
Yeah. So one of the things that I think I pride myself on, and, you know, in our group, is the marketing aspect. So one of the things I always tell agents is, one, we have a system. We got a great onboarding system. We have all the tools and resources that you're going to need, and I'll break those down. But one of the best thing is that I think I bring to the table is more of this custom marketing. A lot of people, they figure out like one or two things that they do well for themselves, and they kind of cookie cutter that to everybody. One thing I do with each agent that comes through our rev share is, after they're onboarded, I sit down with them and, you know, help them come up with a 90-day action plan. Whether they're a brand new agent or an agent stuck in their business, we reevaluate their lead generation strategies. We take a look at their branding and give them something they can focus on, and keeping it simple that is good for them. Because I can give the same strategy to every agent, even the agents in the same market, same target audience, and that same strategy won't work for some agents because they're just not good at it, or they just don't enjoy doing it. If they don't enjoy doing it, they're never going to do it. So one thing, we're going to give you a customized marketing plan. On top of that, you got social media strategy done for you, because Tharmila and I developed kvCORE, and it's a social media content platform. You literally log in, find the strategy, customize it to your market. You don't have to think about it. No more wasting 2 to 3 hours a day stalking realtors and people out there. So you're going to get that done for you. All of the stuff to help you with your branding. Also, you get my Google Business Profile course for free. You can generate free real estate clients and leads for free without $0 in ad spend. And I've had agents that literally in my group recently do it and solidly do everything I tell them in that. In less than 2 months, they had people clicking the call button, calling them directly from the Google Business Profile in a busy market like Phoenix and Scottsdale. So that's pretty powerful there. So we're going to teach you how to organically generate leads so you can maximize your budget as well. On top of that, you can get a real estate website, sales funnels and templates, a complete lead capture system at your disposal. And there's so much more. We do weekly masterminds. Tharmila has her call checking in at the beginning of the week. I'm midweek, plus Mike and the Wolfpack have their calls, and Connor has his calls. You're not alone in this process. You literally get everything that we have, and there's always a time to check in. And again, we have this system that's duplicatable. So if you decide to take into agent attraction, you have your agents get the same thing that you get as well. And if you want to learn more and see what that looks like, I'm sure she'll include my link below, but it's jacobshireman.com/realtors, and you can go see everything that we offer and even book a one-on-one call with me. All my social media is at JM Shireman. So find me, book a call. It's a no pressure call. I'm going to show you exactly what your business looks like here. And we can even, if you're a top producing agent, if you're a team or a broker, you should definitely be over here, because all this stuff that you're struggling, I have a broker that's coming over. The reason why she's transitioning is because she can't keep up with technology, and she's tired at this point in her career. She lost 15 deals that she wanted to do because she was helping her agents. So you guys can plug into this system, keep your branding, and literally get all the help and resources you need without having to pay for them. That's amazing. So you guys should definitely be plugging in and figuring out how you can use this tool, our resources, for your advantage.
Absolutely. And that's one of my favorite things about eXp is that there's literally a department within eXp for everything. You only wear one hat as a team broker, is to motivate your team, keep that going, focusing on transactions and letting the team building, letting the marketing, letting all of that to us, and even the culture and the mindset aspect. I always encourage all my agents to go into the calls, into Connor's call, into Mike's call, the things that really catapult our business, and be plugged in because of that energy, right? And if you are struggling, one of the things that we're so good at doing is we have advisory consulting kind of concept, and also that experience is I love looking at other people's business, and I would love to give audit like where you are and readjust. And that's why if you are already at another group or at another brokerage outside of eXp and you're struggling, and we're happy to look at where you are in your business. And especially building newer agents business is so much easier, right? They don't know anything, we start from ground zero. But when you have already been doing something, there's a habitual nature of I don't want to let this go. And that's where we come in, and we'll love auditing your business, telling you have you tried doing this, have you tried doing that, and give you different tools to keep everything together and to track everything together, and most importantly, keeping it simple. So first of all, I want to take a moment to say thank you, Jacob, for joining me to talk about team building, and more importantly, I really want to bring the word revenue share organization into the forefront and talk about building your revenue share, even if you're at eXp, and if you're coming to eXp and wondering what that multiple source of income, that pillar, the other side of the business looks like. How do I grow your team? And anyone can do it, and because there's a small percentage of people at eXp do it, you can as well. And you could do it as a brand new agent. You can do it without having any experience, and we're here to help you with that step by step. So thank you so much, Jacob, and I'm going to include all the information for Jacob in the in the description below. And if you have any questions at all about anything that we talked about throughout this video, leave it in the comment section below, and we'll be happy to answer them. Stay connected, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell to get more updates on content like this. We'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys.